Yo guys, number one Trader Joe. Gonna do some live back testing on the ICT strat. So let's get into it. Um, so I'm just kind of doing some audio checks, watching how this sounds and what kind of delay we got. Looks like I probably have about a 15-second delay. And check, how's this for sound? I think I like this, so we'll get into backtesting. So we're going to backtest NQ. If it'll work, there we go. We're going to go into replay. Let's see. Actually, we'll do random, and then we'll do random. Or so regular trading hours. No, this is it. So here we go. So we're going to do regular trading hours, so we'll need at least 3 candles before we can take any trades because we're trading fair value gaps. So we got 1 candle, 2 candles, and a 3rd candle, but we don't have any fair value gap. This may be a fair value gap from pre-market, but I don't know. Wow, that 629 candle look. So we'll just keep playing it forward. The low is 812.75. We got like a 2-tick fair value gap right here. So we're going to add a sell limit there, and then yeah, we're going to see if that triggers. We actually added another fair value gap there, so we always trade the middle of the lowest gap, or the highest gap in a bullish trend. All these candles are overlapping. That should have triggered us into a short position, since it did just wick through us. So that's weird. I wonder why that didn't work. And that would have stopped me out, but in real time I would have also taken this fair value gap as a sell. And this one may have also been a sell, had I had like a little small bullish candle here or whatever. We might have got short here, but I don't know where the middle of the gap would have been. I don't know why this sell limit's not working. gotta do it this way, where I click sell. And sell like that. Oh yeah, that looks better. So we'll just go forward from here and see what happens. Okay, we're short. As soon as you're short, you put your stop loss above the candle that created the gap. Take profits are up to you guys. I'm just gonna go for like roughly 1-to-1 of whatever the trade initially is, and then we'll see what happens. So this, I would consider this a rejection. So now, if trade has a rejection, we would put the risk to the top of the fair value gap, which is in this case, like right there. Plus a couple ticks is usually how I do it. So this is like almost no risk. And why that take profit did not execute? Confirm. Oh, okay. So that's, we would have had like one loss and one win. This entry with this rejection would have likely resulted, yeah, because initial entry would have been here, stop would have initially been here, which would mean take profit would have been here. This rejection would have brought the stop down to about here, and then we would have stopped out on this candle. Some of this is discretionary, right? Whether you're going long or short. The context that I'm looking at is like, how is the overall structure of the market look? Well, we had what was probably a respected fair value gap here. And now we're trading into a lower fair value gap, or gaps. I'm looking for shorts. As far as like to the highest fair value gap, if that one gets disrespected, then I would, which would be an inverted fair value gap of this, I would look to go long. But sometimes if I see a lower gap like this and it's immediately disrespected, like you could tell the freaking buyers are just like straight ripping through it, then I may discretionary just flip my bias on the lowest fair value gap getting inverted. But I'll never take like a, if like let's say there was a bullish fair value gap right here that kind of was going up and then trading back into it, I would never take that as a long. So let's continue on. So we would put our limit here now. Sell limit goes here, and then we play it forward to see if we get an entry. We only trade till about 7:30. I don't think I would have tried to short this fair value gap. Reason being, you just got a lot of chop going through here, and that just doesn't look like something I would trade. I would probably just let that play. And then also, like I was saying before too, I wouldn't be trying to long this bullish one either, because the narrative is bearish, so I want to sell this fair value gap if price will go back up. Now in this case, where this gap's created, I'm going to sell this. That should have triggered the entry. I don't know why this isn't working. This is annoying because I'm supposed to enter right there. This trading view oh, I had to click. I see. And now we missed. It may come back though. But you see, this trade would have worked out. Bummer. This hidden gap, I may try this one. I would probably even trade this one. I'm not a big fan of like all these confirmations I have to do, but it's just a matter of getting used to this back tester. I haven't really played with my strategy too much on this trading view replayer, so this would have been the end of my day. This would have been a trade. Now, yeah, this would have definitely been a trade that I took. Right, because we had this fair value gap we never got back into. We had this bullish fair value gap, which then inverted here, but then I would have traded that, actually that pullback right there, I would have traded that short. So let's just cancel order, play to the next day, and just see how we do. Reason I'm watching Bollinger Bands, it's more of just like to see where we're at in the intraday trends. You know, are we pulling back to support or resistance? Are we riding the lower band or upper band as a trend? Let's see, we got to go a little bit more and then it should flip to the next day. There it is. Oh, so another problem with the replayer, sometimes you get, this would have been a stop out. So I had one missed trade that I would have won. I would have traded this as a, which would have been a stop out. But this immediate disrespect of this gap, which, let's say I had my stop here, I would have lost 10 points, actually more. 23 down to 06 is like 17, 18 points. But we created a gap here after we inverted this one. I really like this. I like that as an entry. After inverting that, it gives me a place to put my sell limit. Let's see what happens. Candles are all overlapping, but we got another drop. Overlaps. Overlaps. Candles are all overlapping. This is not a bullish signal for me. This inverted fair value gap, you could try to enter right on the lower side of that. If this creates a fair value gap, you can also try to just go 50% of this gap. See how that plays out. Just getting more bearishness, big candles. So we would, this is not chasing, this is literally my strategy. Just to enter on these gaps. We're very low liquidity traded. And sometimes you're not going to get trades. Like sometimes it's just going to do this where it runs away. That created another gap lower. Getting a little bit dangerous. Third gap down, no trade. Pretty small one there. I like this bigger one better. So we're going to pass on the small one. I like that a little bit better, closer to the middle, but so yeah, there's a small gap here. I'm gonna stick with where I'm at. We disrespected this small gap, so now you got an inverted gap here. Okay, we're entered. Stop loss goes below the candle that created the gap. Target in this case could go to this bullish fair value gap here. That's a nice looking trade. Confirm that. And then let's see. Stopped out. So now this gap has been inverted. Where do we look to? This one being inverted, this has me kind of leaning more bullish. I mean, there's some smaller bearish gaps, but this one being inverted, don't think this one inverted anything. This one actually got respected for a second, but then inverted. We have a gap here. Let's play this out a little bit. I'm going to try a trade off of this gap. Did I buy? This was supposed to be a buy limit. And the limit was supposed to go down here more. Whatever. I guess I'm long. I'll take it. So we go, the stop goes below. The candle that created the gap. Where does the target go? This target like this 50 right here. Confirm everything. See how this trade plays out. No rejection. Bearish fair value gap created here. Small one. But one's created nonetheless. I like it. You know what? It lines up with this other gap being respected. So we will try to sell in at that and then click that. See what happens. We are in and the gap has been respected. So stop loss. Goes to the top of the gap. when it's a respected gap. Yeah, plus a couple ticks. Take profit in this case. Let's target the bullish fair value gap and see how that goes. I mean, this is 200 to make 1300. These are some nice risk to reward trades. So that's the nice thing about trading fair value gaps. Here's the thing. This candle did not invert this. I would say, honestly, I might just seeing this, like stopping out, but then seeing it go right back to there. And we're still at the bottom of the fair value gap. I might just buy this, honestly. And then put the stop above the candle that created the gap. And take profit will go the same. I'm not sure why it doesn't give me the confirmation for those. Let's see. Why are these yellow? Stop. Oh. This is the wrong way. I think, because this is a buy. So I think this is the stop and that's a take profit. Gap not respected, so we'll just go there. Confirm. Okay. Wait a minute. We actually took the wrong. No wonder we took the wrong position here. So let's just close the whole thing. Take profit. Yeah, the plan was actually to sell this, not buy it. The stop loss is going to be really tight. It's going to be like right there. See if it stops out, if it starts going in my favor. It's starting to go. Let's go down here. Confirm that new order. When the trade runs in your favor this much, I usually just move the stop loss to break even plus a tick or two. There's that. So you can see, like, fair value gaps aren't predictive in nature. What they do is they create a structure to where you can have a solid risk to reward. And we would win on the long side here with this strategy. But yeah, we're like, even with some drawdown and some losing trades, list of trades, you can see, yeah, $1,400 winner. This long was an accidental winner, but you know, this was me still getting used to this trading view, market replay, creating orders, confirming the creation. But you can see my losses are small. Like if you go to trade analytics, average loss about $400 between all of these. Average win though is 770. So, and the percent of winning trades is apparently 50. I think it's going to be lower in the long run. But you can see the largest loss, it was only 530, but the largest win, 1500. That's the power of this strategy. You can get much larger winners than losers very easily with this setup. So this would be the end of that day. Let's run another day. And if you guys want to start following me, I mean, I've already passed 2 evals that I got funded accounts on X, just 50Ks. I got another eval I'm going to run. Uh-oh, looks like my trading view might have froze up. I don't know if it's because I'm just running too much stuff here, but sometimes trading view does this when yeah, okay, it's back. Still freezing. See, we should be getting close to the next day. Let's reset scale. Okay, so next day. Oops. I mean, this is probably a fair value gap here, just based on that this thing gapped down. But actually, technically, this was the first visible gap. Let's see if we get into it. We'll set a limit order there. Where is our little panel that we had open? I think it's there, but then, yeah, okay. So here's this gap. Sell limit there. Okay, it's confirmed. Let's see if we get in. We're in, and the candle did confirm that this is a valid fair value gap, which puts my stop like $100 maybe. Take profit. We'll just aim for that low. Ooh, stopped out. Brutal. I don't get this. Why is this saying? Oh, did I not confirm my stop loss somehow? What the? Now it'll let me confirm? Oh, brutal. Yeah, so this wouldn't have been a winning trade. Again, sorry, this is like the limitation of trading on TradingView. And through no fault of my own, would have been stopped out on that trade. Would I have re-entered? Probably not. Unless this was a fair value gap. Maybe I enter on this one, which may have also stopped out, which is fine. Let's just keep going though. Market's very sideways, so yeah, see, it's like literally just back and forth. We'd still just be waiting. We technically have a gap here, so I'm not a big fan of these small ones, but let's see if it puts us in. Okay. So we don't see any respect, so we're gonna put stop loss here. You could go as far as there, but I like the smaller stop. So I go there. As far as take profit goes, the way this is moving around, probably just go like something like that and then confirm. Almost stopped out, but survived. And that one paid. So this would have stopped, but this one paid. So we're like 50-50. This loss would have been pretty small. This win was clearly much bigger though. I don't know how much money I would have lost on this, to tell you the truth. I don't know how long this video is getting either, so let me, I think we're about 30 minutes, so I'm gonna just call it here, guys. This been a pretty good live back test, I would say. I mean, obviously I need some practice on the TradingView replayer, but yeah, I think you get the point. Like, the point isn't necessarily, do I have a method that can predict? No, all it does is gives me a method of following a model that forces me to be patient, to wait for these fair value gaps. I place my limit order to wait and see if it'll put me in. We saw that on this strong trending day, it literally like wouldn't put me in until over here somewhere, but then when I finally did get in and I had some losses, but I also had some wins, and my wins outweigh my losses, so that's the name of the game. Yeah, feel free to follow me, and hope you guys have a great Saturday.